Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are doing well at your home. So, today we are again starting with our biology online classes, and I think your fourth chapter has been completed, and today we shall be starting with chapter number 5, that is transpiration. So, this is the first part of this chapter. So, let's start with transpiration. Now, let us discuss about the overview of the chapter, that what we are going to study in this chapter. First of all, we will study about introduction of transpiration, means what do you mean by transpiration, what is the definition of transpiration. Then we will study what is the difference between process of evaporation and transpiration. Then we will discuss about the demonstration of this physiological activity. Then types of transpiration, what are the different types of transpiration. Then what is the mechanism of transpiration, measurements of rate of transpiration, factors affecting rate of transpiration, and some of other similar process like guttation and bleeding. Now let's start with the introduction of transpiration. So I think from your previous classes you have already studied about transpiration, and you all know the definition also, that transpiration is a biological process by which plants lose their excess water in the form of water vapors from their aerial parts. Now we know that all living organisms need an excretory system to discharge their waste material or even the excess of water. Even we people also remove our excess of water in the form of sweating. So like we are doing sweating, plants are doing transpiration. So transpiration is in plants is very much similar to the sweating in human. So we can say that it is a process of elimination of excess of water from the plant body, and this water will be evaporated from the surface of leaves, stem, means the aerial parts only. So during this process, generally what is happening, that water molecule in the plant tissues are removed from the plant, and the process is happening in such a way that whenever the plant is absorbing the water more, then they will transpire more. Okay, so we will better understand this process in this diagram. That first of all, what will happen, the water is present in soil. Always plant will absorb the water from the soil. So from the soil the water will come into the root hairs. The water will come into the root hairs. You can see that if the water is here, so from here the water will come into the root hair. From the root hair it will come into the root. From the root through the xylem tube, now the water will come into the stem. From the stem, now it will come into the leaves. All of you have seen the veins and windlets network on the leaves. That veins and windlet network are having xylem tissues, and these xylem tubes will carry the water from the roots to the leaves. Now when the water will come into the leaves, here on the leaves they are having very, very minute microscopic pores which are called as stomata. You can see the stomatas here, and now that stomatas, they, from those pores the water will now come out to the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. Now the next is differences between evaporation and transpiration. So here we will discuss the same differences which are given in your book, so that you can better understand what is written in your book. First one is phenomenon. So evaporation is totally a physical process. It is not a physiological process. What is the difference between physical and physiological? Physiological processes are the processes which will happen in a living organism. Like we are studying plant physiology and animal physiology. So transpiration is a physiological activity of plants. Evaporation means simply a loss of water from any surface of water body, or maybe any surface wherever the water is there. From that water, if it is lost in the form of water vapor, then it is simply called as evaporation. But transpiration is a loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of plants, only from the aerial parts of plant. Now that evaporation will be controlled by environmental factors. Only environmental factors will control. But in transpiration, both environmental factors plus the physiological factors which are there in the body of plant, they will also control the rate of transpiration. For example, if the number of stomatas are less, then obviously the rate of transpiration will be less. And osmotic pressure, what is the water absorption? If the water will be absorbed more, then the rate of respiration will be more. Okay, so it is dependent on both physical and physiological process and factors. Next is evaporation is a very fast process, and transpiration is comparatively slower process. Transpiration is influenced by anatomy of plant, and no such kind of influence will be seen in evaporation. And even the light is not a very influencing factor in evaporation. Evaporation may happen at night time also, but in the transpiration, light influence a lot. We will study about it, the influence of light in the factors affecting rate of transpiration. So here in this picture also you can see what is transpiration. When the water is absorbed by the soil, absorbed by the plant through the soil, then it will come into the leaves, and when the water is released out from the water vapor through those leaves, then it is called as transpiration. And evaporation is simply the loss of water or evaporation of water from any surface. Now the next is demonstration of transpiration. Yes, we can easily demonstrate this transpiration at our home also, and I really expect that you all will perform the same experiment at your home, because it's very easy and you can easily perform at your home. So what you have to do, first of all, in this experiment 1, we will show that yes, water vapor is given out during the transpiration. So this is an experiment which is proving that transpiration is a physiological process which is done by plants, and in this process they are losing the water in the form of water vapor. So in this process what you have to do, first of all you have to take a watered potted plant. एक ऐसा पॉट लेना है जिसके अंदर एक प्लांट है और उसको आपने अच्छे से उसको पानी भी दे दिया है. Then what you have to do, you have to tie a polythene over it. You can easily see that here a polythene is tied. Okay, you have to tie a polythene over it, tightly tie a transparent polythene over it. But with that you have to make one control also. In control what you have to do, just tie a simple polythene without any plant. Okay, so that would be act as a control. Now then you have to keep that apparatus in sunlight for 2 to 3 hours, and afterwards when you will observe, then you will see the very small water droplets onto the inner side of the poly bag. Okay, and why it happened? Because in the sunlight the stomatas are opened and the water from the soil, it will come into the leaves, up to the leaves, and then the water will be lost in the form of water vapor. And then those water vapor, when they will strike the inner wall of the polythene, they will become condensed and they will be seen as water droplets. Now here one more activity to demonstrate the process of transpiration in plants. For this you require 3 bell jars, 2 freshly potted plants, and 2 cobalt chloride papers. Here the cobalt chloride papers are the indicator of moisture, because these papers, whenever they will come in contact of moisture, their color will turns blue to pink. Generally in dry condition they are of blue color, and then whenever they will come in contact of moisture, when they will expose to the moisture, their color will turn from blue to pink. So here we will take the cobalt chloride paper as an indicator of moisture. So what we will do, we will take 3 bell jars, bell jar A, B and C. We will mark it as A, B and C, and we will take 2 potted plants. We will keep the freshly potted plant A in bell jar A, and one more that in bell jar B. And then in bell jar C we will put only 1 cobalt chloride paper, we will not put any plant in it. Okay, and then we will seal those bell jars with the Vaseline so that no external air or external moisture should get entered in those bell jars. Now we will keep this this apparatus in sunlight for 2 to 3 hours, and what will happen? Transpiration will happen, and then we will observe that the bell jar A On the Bell-jar we will observe that water droplets, because transpiration is done by that plant also. And then in Bell-jar B, where the plant will do the transpiration, and as a result of that it will release those water vapors, and due to presence of this moisture, now in this Bell-jar B, that cobalt chloride paper will turn pink. Okay, the color will change from blue to pink because of that moisture available due to the process of transpiration. And then in Bell-jar C, we will see that there will be no change in the color of cobalt chloride paper. So hence it is concluding that due to the condensation of that water vapors, now the moisture is available to that cobalt chloride paper, and now the color will change, which is that change is just a proof of transpiration in plants. Now the next question will come in mind, that for this transpiration, how the water will reach up to the leaves. So you have already studied about the transportation of water and minerals in your standard 8. So I hope you remember a little bit of that the process is due to osmosis and imbibition. Okay, what is happening, that when the water is present in soil, then due to that changes in the concentration of water, the water will come into the roots. Okay, through the process of osmosis, now it will raise from one cell to another cell, and finally it will come into the xylem tube. Xylem tube is a tube which will transport the water from the roots to all the parts of the plant body. Okay, so once it will come into the xylem tube, slowly that water will come into the stem of xylem, then into the leaves of xylem. So here it is a section of leaf which is showing that this outermost layer is epidermis, and on the lower epidermis you will see maximum stomatas are there, because maximum stomatas are present onto the lower epidermis. Okay, so these are the pores you can see. So water from here through the xylem tube, it will come here into the leaf, mesophyll cells, and then through the stomata the water will be released out or diffused out in the form of water vapor. Okay, so how the water will rise up to this? Through the process of osmosis. Osmosis, what is osmosis? That is the movement of water molecule from higher concentration to the lower concentration from one cell to another cell through a semi-permeable membrane, or through a surface tension, that is called as imbibition. Because in the mesophyll cells also, the through that porous cellulose walls also, the water will move from one cell to another cell, and then in the epidermis stomatas are present, these pores are present here and here, and through those pores now the water will release out. Okay, so now next is, so this can be better understand in this diagram also. This is a diagram showing that this is a transverse section of leaf. Okay, you can see that this is a cuticle. Cuticle is that waxy coating which is there on a whole epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer of all the plant parts. प्लांट की पूरी बॉडी पे जो सबसे आउटरमोस्ट लेयर होती है उसको हम एपिडर्मिस बोलते हैं, और उसके ऊपर भी एक वैक्सी कोटिंग होती है जिसको हम बोलते हैं क्यूटिकल. ओके, सो जनरली दिस क्यूटिकल इज टू अवॉइड लॉस ऑफ वाटर, जिससे कि ज़्यादा पानी बाहर ना निकले, तो ये वैक्सी कोटिंग क्या करती है, प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करती है. सो दैट जस्ट बीनीथ दैट एपिडर्मिस दे आर हैविंग म्यूजोफिल सेल्स, पैरेन्काइमस सेल्स आर देयर, और ये है वो ट्यूब्स, that is xylem tubes, we can say veins and ventlets. Okay, so through those xylem tubes water will come here. और अब यहाँ आने के बाद में this is the lower epidermis, और lower epidermis में you can see this pore is stomata. So water from the xylem tube it will come here, and then from the stomata it will come out, okay, in the form of water vapor. And this is the same diagram given in your book. And here also you can easily understand, this is xylem and phloem. So once from the roots the water will come into the xylem of leaves, and then from here it will get distributed to all the cells, और उसके बाद में धीरे धीरे ये diffusion के through और osmosis के through धीरे धीरे that water will come out, and the movement of water through the evaporation, now it will release out in the form of water vapor through those stomata. You can see that these are the stomatas which are present in that epidermis. Stomatas are the pores which are present onto the outermost layer of plant body. Now come to the types of transpiration. Because why the different types of transpiration? Because in addition to the stomatas, they also perform the transpiration from some other means, that is cuticular and lenticular, but the maximum transpiration in the plant body is done by only stomatas. 90% of the transpiration they will done through stomatas, 3 to 10% they will perform through their cuticle layer, and the least is performed through lenticular transpiration through the lenticels present onto the surface of old stems. So we will understand these types of transpiration through these pictures. Okay, that is the first type, that is stomata. So we have already discussed that on the leaves they are having that those small pores. और अगर हम इन pores की बात करें, so you have already studied about it कि stomatas are the pore which are consist of 2 guard cells, और यही गार्ड सेल्स हैं जो कि ओपनिंग और क्लोजिंग ऑफ स्टोमेटा को कंट्रोल करते हैं. जब ये गार्ड सेल्स फुल ऑफ वाटर होते हैं, देन दे विल गेट स्वेल्ड एंड दे विल बिकम टर्जिड, and as a result the stomata will be open. And when they do not have water, then in that case what will happen? They will become flaccid, means loose, and as a result that opening will be closed. We will again discuss it in the mechanism of stomatal transpiration. Now the next type is cuticular. Cuticle, I have already explained you that this is the layer of waxy coating over the epidermis. So a little amount of water will also come out or will also lost through that cuticular transpiration. जहाँ जहाँ पे स्टोमेटाज है वहाँ से तो बाहर निकलेगा ही, बट जहाँ जहाँ पे क्यूटिकल की केवल एक लेयर है वहाँ से भी a little percentage of water will be lost. And the next is lenticels. लेंटिसल्स क्या होते हैं? आई थिंक यू ऑल हैव ऑब्जर्व सच काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर ऑन टू द स्टेम. जो ओल्ड स्टेम्स होते हैं उसके ऊपर दीज काइंड ऑफ पोर्स आर प्रेजेंट, और इनसे भी वाटर लॉस होता है. एंड इवन ऑन द फ्रूट्स ऑल्सो यू कैन सी दोज लिटिल माइन्यूट स्ट्रक्चर ऑन टू द फ्रूट्स एंड ऑन stems. So these are called as lenticels, and through the lenticels also the water, a little amount of water will be lost in the form of water vapor. Now students, we have completed up to types of transpiration, and our next topic is mechanism of stomatal transpiration. So that topic we will continue in the next class, and your today's assignment is to perform that experiment at your home so that you can better understand the procedure and practice all the diagrams of your book, read your chapter at your home and make a good notes. Thank you so much for listening.